What is going on, you dead set legends, and welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 review aftermath show on the planet. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and as always, I am your 2019 Melbourne Cup left arm, 80 to 95 kilo, third place amateur, the most sought after trophy in arm wrestling history. We're here. We had an event on the weekend, and it comes with nothing but controversy. We're going to talk about all the good bits, all the bad bits. We're going to talk about what's next, and we're going to get right stuck into it. I hope you are all doing well wherever you are around the world. I tell you, I've got my coffee ready. We're here to spill the tea, and we're going to get right into it. So we're going to kick it off just with the East versus West 21 review of a whole. What did you think of it? What did you like about it? And I'll say hi to everyone in the comments in just a moment. It was, we had an event. We had an event. Happened in Atlantic City. It's going to be a good thing. Let me just quickly say hi to people in there. So I was asking people, what was your match of the night? And as you can see, we'll talk about that very soon. Magic 76ers says Jordan v. Prudnik was my favorite. MG Blast. Really enjoyed Bogdan's performance, but hands down Jerry's third round. We're going to talk about all the Morozov stuff, as you can see a little bit later on. I know that will dominate the conversations, but bear with me because we're going to get stuck right into that. The Armenia one. Ready, bang. What's going on? How are you, Magic 76ers? Melbourne, not Melvin. Sorry, Melbourne. Melbourne. That's where I'm from. The Drew is hanging around as well. We've got Master B Reggae, Dominic Lorenz. This is happening here. My man, the Kang, Roger Cangingham. He had a good showing out, and even had an athlete refuse to shake my man's hand. I saw that, bud. I saw that. That was hilarious. But good to see. Very underrated puller. Roger Cangingham deserves to be on the big stage. Phil Woody just coming in with the old ready bang. What's going on, Philbert? Let's I'll just quickly say hi. My match was Georgi v. Michael. Sadly, Georgi lose of the King's move. We got Morozov in the chat, which is going good. Not sure why you're having a laugh there, Brad Butler. You'll have to reiterate. Ready. Bang. Scrolling down. What's up, everyone? Okay. Can Jerry recover from this big lost streak? We'll talk about that. The good, the bad, the ugly. What's going on, Brad? And you're a star, Roger Cunningham. What? So, coming into it, for me, I'm just going off my end. Stream went well because I watch it on mute. I'm not sure if they fixed the audio because they were just using what it appeared like, and you guys will be able to correct me for those that watched it like the whole time. But it seemed like the microphone that was in the arena was also used for the stream. It wasn't separated through two different cords, and that's okay. I don't think it's the biggest deal, but for me, the stream 99% of the time went really well. It looked good. Probably just a bit too dark at times, but that's okay. At times, crowd seemed to really enjoy it. A lot of people were messaging me from the event. I'm trying to keep it more positive. A lot of people were messaging me directly from the event in the crowd, not saying as many nice things. There were some good matches. There were some good matches on the card, so I was really happy with that. Even, I sometimes sit there and go, there's so many 3-0s, but there can be some really good 3-0s. like Pork Chop beat Devon Boardman to kick off the show. That was a good 3-0. We just realized that we found another Bourneman, another potential superstar at the sport. 17 years old. If he lived in Australia, he wouldn't be allowed to drink or drive. And you don't want to do that at the same time. There was some good matches there. Just running through it. Overall, of course, you got to give the event a pass because there weren't any championship matches. There were only 2 best of 7s. It went quicker than usual. I think the event only went for 3.5 hours. Now, when an event goes, I'm still condensed. But in saying that, not too many matches drew on. So I'm only talking about the event. They get me started on the presser. So, yeah, there were bits and pieces. I'm not sure if they're ordered to make things go longer so people feel like they're getting value for money. I'm not sure about that. But for me, the 3.5 hours went pretty well. That's because there was a lot of best of 5. There are a few sweeps and things like that, but there wasn't too much dicking around in the setups. I believe it was one of the first events, and that probably comes in with your best of 5s. One of my first events where I wasn't like, just get on with the match, So it seemed to go, okay, gotcha. Harambe, what is happening? Oh, just quickly making sure I've said hi. The stream was ace. Awesome. That was, people liked that one. The pay-per-view chat was the only problem for me. Dead as a doornail. According to, because I obviously had the pay-per-view up. For me, it stopped bang on. Once they first heard Travis Bajan, it stopped. It just stopped. So, yeah, it was very, very interesting. Do I think the current matchmaking is better than before? Well, it's only been 1.5 events, so it's hard to say. It's only been 2.5 events. 2.5 events. I had Switzerland, they've had this one, and then the Brian Shaw thing, So overall, you'd be happy. You'd be happy with that event. You would definitely be happy with that event. Now, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what happened. The good, the tournament beforehand, that'll help you get crowd numbers. To have the final, one of the finals on the main stage, if your card's not too long, of course. I mean, those that have followed the show have been saying that for a while. The prelims on YouTube hopefully generated pay-per-views for all the 50-50 people. I think at one stage there was about 1,000 people watching the prelims, probably more. I couldn't remember. I was doing my own pre-show. So the good thing there, once again, banging my head against the wall. Got to do the prelims. So that was another good thing. I thought they did that right. Look, I rag on the owners for coming in and chatting. I'm very happy that they moved it to the end of the show. Knock yourselves out. You want a bit of me time? It's your event. Cool. And they did it at the end. I still think Neil could have done all that, but that's okay. I was, keep banging my head against. Don't do it before the main event. They listened. They didn't do it before the main event. So I'm pretty happy with that. Some of the matches were really good, and because there were a lot of only 3-0s, there was a few quick 3-0s. That was really good. Bogdan Stoica, wow. That I should have called this segment the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Took on Paul Lynn and was just fantastic. I thought that was brilliant. Ayani Takanaka, once again, another solid performance. And of course, when Victoria Carlson, I was just like, oh, if he could just hold in there, she can hold in there, we could be rocking and rolling. And that's what had happened. And that's what in one round. So it made a good match, but Takanaka just bolstered up an awesome level there. It's good to see people take advantage of their opportunity. So now what really needs to happen for someone like a Mayan came onto the big stage, left arm match, and was really good against a very good athlete in Jason Merlo. Now, I know it's not for everyone, but this is where you go hard on your social media. Go hard on your social media. What I would have suggested for Mayan to do, and this is for anyone making their debut or their first, or they're into their second match or something like that. You're not going to win every single match. Only one person does that. That's Levan. No one else wins every single match. So have a name ready. It's not disrespectful. What Mayan should have done is have a name ready, who he wants, bang, go from there. But either that was good. Ricard Borneman on the right arm, getting that big win over Schoolboy. I think that's fantastic. We can almost get to a stage now where, I've got to write that down. It just came to me then to do in the what's next. The Kamil Jablonski Jerry Caderet match, that was good. Had a bit of ugly into it. Thought Monster Michael Todd's performance, I thought that was good. Minda, he's just too good for Prokopchik now. Jordan Sonev, take a bow. Everyone that won, I thought was very impressive. Was very impressive. The bad was probably no championship matches. We always like a title match at everyone, considering there's 1,000 divisions. Left arm, right arm, 10, 15 weight categories, super heavyweight, 115, 105, 95, 85, 75, 65, women's open. You could have had a title match. Just one. Could have just had one in there. So for me, that was bad. Audio was bad at times. But that one was just probably a minuscule thing. I watch it on mute. And that's not disrespect for anyone. You all know I do the live commentary, so it comes from there. Then, I don't want to rag too much on it. The ugly, probably Jerry's Kings at some stage. I enjoyed seeing it. And then you look at it, it's like, whoa. But, and then Jerry losing again. I still rate Jerry Caderet highly. I rate him. I rate him very highly. The ugly, and I mean this respectfully, the women's division. The women's division, I'm starting to think what all you need to do now for the women's division is just find even matchups. Don't try and find the next contender for the title, because it just appears that we're just having most divisions almost have a Levan and everyone else. Like, no one's beating Barbora. I think, Takanaka and Petrova, they just might have a whole heap back and forth. Just find awesome mega matches. And it's coming. I'm not saying the women's division's dead, but at the moment, it just seems a bit like, oh, okay. And it's hard. When you're making matches, you want every match to be a banger. And it's fine, but it's like, cool. It's really hard to find matches, especially when the talent pool's not as deep. So, and I'm hoping that gets a little bit better, because you could even trial, because you can make so many men's matches. You could even trial an East versus West Challenger Series or East versus West 24, and it's the women's. I don't know. This is all just coming to my head. Now, I can see that that everyone just wants to talk about Devon and Morozov and what's going on there. So I have lifted there. Geez, that's a big call. Camille will defeat Levan. Does Michael Todd versus Levan make sense? All right. What else have we got? I like probably one more ugly, and I don't like to do it too much. I don't like to rag on it too much. I'm a huge defender of it. But one of those, couple of those refs. Oh. But in saying that, I probably need to go back and I need to check the fouls, and some of it was just shit. But yeah, I don't know. Gateway Arm says, I don't get why EVW isn't giving the women that crushed Jocelyn at WAF this year a shot at some of the top girls. Oh, I've got one more ugly as well. So you've got to think in a business sense. Now, I'm sure the women that beat Jocelyn will, the women that beat Jocelyn will get a shot at some stage, maybe even at the next one. But think of the logistics. You've got Jocelyn Brisson. We just got to bring her from Canada, I believe. She might even live in the United States. I can't remember where Jocelyn's from. But when I say it like Brisson, I think she's Canadian. Anyway, and she had a match with Anna Gronlund. Now, Anna's already there helping out. She's one of the staff men. She's an arm wrestler. Anna is an arm wrestler. So I was like, okay, we can put that on the card. It's not going to cost too much money. Anna's already coming over. So then if you're bringing names, especially in the women's division, that aren't really going to knock over pay-per-views, that's you're running that at a loss. So it's a matter of, right, so we've got a couple of European ladies that whoop Jocelyn Brisson. Our next event's in Austria. Instead of paying $2,000 for a flight, we could pay $500 for a flight and get them both over. Have a match, kill each other, put your name on the world stage. So look for that. You got to think of it. We just can't have all the best talent pool. So also, we say that awful V word, the visa. You know, my understanding at the moment, because of the split and everything, they're kind of like, let's just get to this event and then we'll work out the next event, leaving not too much room for mistakes and things for not to happen. So if you're booking athletes, like if you want to work out visas and everything, you want to get these top tier, females over from WAF, it's like, oh, well, they can't get a visa. Well, we kind of need an answer in 6 weeks. We got to go on with this one. Jocelyn Brisson could come to America. Anna Gronlund works for East versus West. It makes sense. That makes sense. So when they're in Austria, look to see European women trying to put on a show over there. Another ugly for me. I didn't like the red light. I didn't like the red light. I just thought at times it was too dark. Hi, Beata. Hi. I did see Ricard in there. Sorry if I missed you before, Ricard. I saw your name saying g'day. They need... It doesn't even have to be on the pay-per-view. They just need a couple of GoPros pin line just for the replays and everything for the refs to make sure. There was one time we were looking at a foul and we couldn't see the pin pad. I believe it was on Jerry's side. Another ugly for me, and I know I'll probably cop it in the comments, but I don't think people should have paid extra for an after pool session. Considering some YouTube channels went live with other after pool sessions, I'm not sure if many... I know some of the big name athletes, like people have already ripped it and put it on YouTube, and they'll send me clips. Oh, did you see this on the afterpool? I didn't buy the afterpool. And if you did buy the afterpool, do you feel you got your money's worth? Do you think it's a thing moving forward? Look, I thought it was a terrible idea, but I also, playing devil's advocate, try something. It's them trying something. Okay. If they sit there and go, look, 1,000 people bought the afterpools, that's 15 grand. So then it works, But if straight away everyone's like, that's no good, ruining the sport and things like that. We miss out on some good discussion and everyone having a chat afterwards. I wouldn't have had the afterpool, the monetize an afterpool. What the hell, Drew? Not even $5. Not even $5. And it's weird. It's weird because I know it was like, if you put your favorite athletes, it's like giving them a tip and things like that. But in a sense, it's not our job to pay the athletes. It's these guys are doing a good job. They're getting sponsors on board. Right? We pay for the pay-per-view. Not sure about paying for. They're buying the t-shirts. They're buying the posters. They're then it's like, hey, and you got more money and more money. You can't keep biting the hand that feeds you. You got to look to expand. But once again, devil's advocate, we all think the afterpool should be free, and things like that. I think they, might get some good money. What's going on?
Just apologies for the noise. She thinks it's hilarious to yell crack. She's trying to say quack. It's really cute.
Oh,
anyway,
I'm loving the joy.
It's very loud. I can shut the other door too.
No.
She does crack and it goes so funny.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. It's so yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, that afterpool thing. That afterpool. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I know a lot of people were happy with it, and that's cool. And that's cool. If the business model works, I'm always happy to put my hand up and go, geez, I was wrong on that one. We're getting 1,000 people, 2,000 people buying the afterpool footage. That's great, but I don't know. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me. All right. Offer it free for people to purchase the pay-per-view. That's a good thing. That would be cool. That's a good one, Bob. But then, would Georgi Svetkov, Michael Todd, Jerry Caderet, they going to jump in the afterpool? Because they're the ones you really want to see. Like Zarenov and Devon, they're always going to jump in the afterpool. I've got the best family in the world. I bought the season pass. Good man. I like that. That's a good thing. They've done the season pass. I watched some afterpool with Benji's channel. At least free prelims free was a great idea. Also, too much afterpool kind of kills hype for future matches. Practice is not a suit match, but still has an impact on the perception of a future matchup. Yes and no. It depends on how you read it, on how you read that one. And nice, would love to hear your guys' opinion, but for me, Jordan Sonev, Prudnik, match of the night. Match of the night for me, not a problem. I thought it was great. Thought it was a really, really good match. Really good match. I thought they killed it. I was very happy for my man Jordan Sonev, and that, he's back on the stage. So that was really good. He had some names ready to go if he won, which he did. And I suggest all pullers do that. It's not disrespectful. It's not thinking past your opponent, but it helps people talking. So usually my rule of thumb is there's always 3 talking points at a major event like this. There's always 3 talking points. There's the main event, what Devon's done, and then a third one, because we're not that intelligent to think of everything. And the third one, be the third one. I always encourage, I say this at every press conference, every event that I'm a part of, like, to get booked again, be the third moment. Everyone's talking about Monster Michael Togiorgi Svetkov. Devon Morozov, we're all talking about that. And at the moment, a lot of people are talking about Camille Jerry. Is Jerry finished? Should Camille be top 5? Blah, 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 blah. So someone like Jordan Sonev, match of the night, boom, he just went, give me Sagov and Dave Chafee on the right arm. Wouldn't mind Montiashenko on the left arm. I'm ready to rock and roll. I absolutely loved it. Prudnik and Sonev, best arm wrestling of the event. Camille Jerry, highest moment of the event. Yeah, when Jerry transitioned deep and then went, that was pretty good. Jordan Prudnik absolutely blew me out the water. The Ricard and Schoolboy match was the most predictable, says Tracer White. Interesting. But for me, Prudnik, Jordan Sonev, take a bow. It was good. So, what's next? What is next? Let's try and go through it all. People don't really understand. Curtis Cameron Porkchop has gone through undefeated. He's becoming my new King of the Indies. Bogdan Stoica's now graduated. He was the King of the Indies. But book Porkchop. Mac book him all the time. I know Arm Sports Entertainment have booked him. And if I'm, which I'm sure Mac's always on the phone. But if I'm a Get Cracked Chris Kringle, Natty Bros, Arm Sports Entertainment, they've already done it. I'd be booking Porkchop and Devon separately, but they're really good stalwarts for your pay-per-views, for your events. I'm trying to think of what other events. Like, we just had 5 events last weekend. I'm trying to think of the 5 North American events. But book Devon. Get him over. Get him there. Hey, Criggy. How you going, mate? How are you going? Okay, just quickly. Okay. So definitely book them. I guess with the women's division, I would just say, try and find just standout matches, banger matches to see how that goes. Wishing them all the best. You know, Jocelyn Brisson is definitely taking advantage of her situation. She doesn't mind playing a heel, and I like that. She screams in your face, says, I'm going to retire your left arm at the press conferences. She's trying, and I like that from Jocelyn. So keep that up, Jocelyn. If you're happy to play the heel, awesome. Mayan and Jason Merlot. I'm not sure what James Wall's left is like, but I would love to see James Wall take either of them on the right arm. I think that would be pretty good. Roger Cunningham, I'm not sure what your left is. Not sure what your left arm is like. Love to see you in the mix with all that. I'd love to see Mario Tambakis. Mario's going to come down to 95, so if anyone wants to jump up and take on Mario at 95, I think that would be great. Schoolboy and Rickard Borman. I've been trying to think what's next for Rickard Borman. I was thinking a chance short, but I think that might be a bit too big. I wouldn't mind, and I think this is a bit left field. And I think it'll be a fun build-up. But Tom Nelson just came king of California again. He just beat Derek Smith. Now, do I think Rickard wins that match? Absolutely. But I wouldn't hate that match. Now, Rickard was talking about coming down to 115. So, Leonidas on the right arm for Rickard. Because Leonidas is going to Devon's and they're going to train for a while and then the event in Germany. But give Bournemouth Leonidas. Right arm. I'm on. Have I ever attended the Aussie Open? Yes, I have, actually. Yes, I have. I was a guest there. Bournemouth versus Brian Shaw. Nah, you just got to be careful at stages because you don't want to kill any hype. And, yeah, I think Brian's going to... If I'm another league, I'm trying to book Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw says, he still wants to arm wrestle, but he doesn't really want to work with them. So there's a bit of bitter taste left in his mouth. And that's fine. They'll get over that and they'll do some business together in the future. But if I'm a North American promotion and just wanting to invest and going, let's give it one more crack, I'm trying to book Brian Shaw for a match. Mr. Throttles, come to SA so we can have a go. I'm not sure who you're talking to there. Ricard kills Leonidas. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. My man Swisher reckons it's a bit risky for Bournemouth. Interesting. AA Takanaka, give it the title match. Very exciting puller. Love the way it went about it. Bogdan's gone to the top of the line. If he wants a crack at Todzilla, I'm happy for that. Paul Lynn, he's just come off football season. No excuse. Bogdan was insane. Paul Lynn will make no excuses either. Paul Lynn versus any top contender at 95 kilos. Lock it in. Bogdan Stoica. Give him a Babayev. Give him a Todzilla. I've got no problem with that. He's just jumped to the top of the line with a very impressive win. Tobias Sperong. Left arm. I think he might be too much for Jordan Sonev. I was thinking maybe them two could go together. So clearly Tobias's left arm is the better arm. He's ready to go. So I think that could be really good. Defensive hook against that quick start. Fuck it. Let's book it. Them two. So when I'm talking about what's next now, so you've got some athletes. Someone was mentioning it in my live stream about, right, you're downgraded to the prelims and things like that. That's where a good challenger series comes in. That's when a main event roster person comes to NXT, you know what I mean? Or an NBA player helps out in the G League. So you could run some challenger series. And it's all up and comers trying to get on and graduate to the big stage, which is cool because you can get some absolute studs pulling there. You know them, I know them. And then you can get like a Prudnik to come down and just remind everyone that there's levels. Okay, I'm losing to the best in the world. And you know who I would get to main event the very first Challenger Series? Jerry Caderet, Chance Shaw. Main event of the Challenger Series. They had a bit of jaw jacking a while ago. Chance Shaw, get him in a training camp, him off the couch, whoops a lot of people. So get him in there. Chance is awesome. He had some time off because him and his beautiful wife had a beautiful baby. So get him in there. Get them in there big time. And that could be a main event of the Challenger Series. And then if you're unsure about some particular athletes, you chuck a Milo or an Orton in there, give me some, and if you're not too confident, and then that's where you can just say, hey, we'll just play fights and accommodation. Everything else is on your own accord. Flights and accommodation. You can still charge a lesser pay-per-view, $10 for the pay-per-view. And it's not, and then that's the development league. Okay, everyone should say Jerry Cataract should retire. When he shouldn't, or a Zarenov, who's on a bit of a losing streak at the moment. All right, bring him down to this Challenger Series. And then they just go in and they're either on the decline or they just whoop a top contender and they go again. Well, that's what King of the Table could be for. Anyway. For a blue super chat? All right, Benji. Of course I will. You've been old school. You've been here since day one. Yeah. Or I could go, yay, I, yay, I, depending how you read it. Okay. Everyone's just saying, everyone's saying, g'day. Not for me. And people forget that was a left arm match when Ryan won. That was a left arm match. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Excuse me. Just going down the card. Minda, if he wants a rematch with Makarov, or I wouldn't mind Minda having a crack at the next weight class. Get him up. I wouldn't mind that. That me for Minda. Yeah, so for me, Kamil Jablonski's officially number 5 in the world, regardless if you like it or not. I go off wrestling maths. Levan, Devon, Erdemes, Vitali. It's now Kamil. Jerry goes down to 6. Michael, unfortunately, after his win, goes down to 7. Or you could have them at both equal 5. I'm happy to go on equal 5, but if I've got to make a call, go on equal 5. Georgi Svetkov drops down to 7. And then who knows with the rest? Who knows? Rivas doesn't pull anymore. Morozov's injured both arms. I can give you a top 7. And that's about it. So then who does Kamil have next on the right arm? I would love to see him pull Georgi Svetkov. Yeah. I do think on the right arm, the top 4 smoke him. So I don't think it is ready there. I think Monster Michael Todd should pull Levan. I really do. Because he's the only one that wants to pull him. He's the only one that's ready to pull him. So book it. Book the match. Like Vitali's going to have a match in February, and we're very happy with that. If Levan wins, that gives him 4 months. Win or lose in February, give me Levan Monster Michael Todd. Give it to me. Because, people that do not like Monster Michael Todd, you might see his King's move gets destroyed. People that love Monster Michael Todd, you're rooting for him. And you think, geez, I wonder if he can just somehow get in a defensive position to hold Levan. If he can get there, there are a lot ifs. Michael has wanted this match for years. Ever since first meeting Michael, first talking to Michael, regularly chats with him, it's always been, the number one in the world. And I respect that in an athlete. You always want to be number one in the world and you keep chasing it. But at least tell him yes or no now. Because otherwise, give him Sagov at 115. Give him Jordan Sonev at 115 on the right arm. You know, give him Matyashenko 115 at the right arm. But give him time to have that match ready. But it does make sense. It does make sense. Devon's focused on Vitali, wants to pull Vitali. Erdemy says he's not ready, trying to get it. Vitali's taking him on in February. I don't think Camille's there for him. So give him Michael. We want to see the best in the world. Like when I buy my tickets in the 90s to go watch the Chicago Bulls, I want to watch Jordan play. I want to watch the greats play. I want to watch the champions have a crack. So there are a lot of my just having a look. What's next? According to the website, the annual pass, we're going to have 8 events next year. So that's really good. 8 events. It's one like every 6.5 weeks. So that's good. That's good. And with the North America skyrocketing, Arm Havoc in Germany had a really good event. Lion Pride puts on good events. So, yeah, good times. Now, why everyone, let's go through. Have I got time? I've got time. What's everyone saying? Cam Bogdan was impressive on the table. He was brilliant. Bogdan is a stud. Was it right arm? I thought it was left arm. I can't remember. Maybe beat James Wall left arm. Maybe it was James Wall left arm and Bogdan right arm. You're probably right, Drew. In fact, you are right, I would say. Yeah, my apologies. Okay, everyone's just talking about should Jerry stay in there. So at the end of the event, let's go through the timeline. At the end of the event, they got up on stage and went, we've got Devon Morozov left arm. Beautiful. Morozov gets on YouTube and says, I'm not really ready. Look, I like money, so I'm going to take it for the money. I'm not fully prepared, which it depends what set of goggles you have on, but I don't mind. I don't mind an athlete being honest because there's enough time to cancel the match. Okay, mate, if you're not going to be ready, thank you for your honesty. I'm not sure why, you probably shouldn't have accepted. If you did accept it, you probably shouldn't have accepted it, but it's hard when people ring you and say, hey, we got $5,000 for you, $2,000 if you win. We got $10,000 for you, $2,000 if you win. Regardless if you're ready or not, you're like, yeah, absolutely. And someone like Morozov, we're always going to be excited whether he's booked or not. So go watch Artyom Morozov's YouTube channel. So then there's talks about cancelling the match. Devon makes a video, says it's basically cancelled. Then the old miscommunication interpretation comes in. And one of Morozov's close friends who speaks English quite well jumps on and says it was all misinterpreted. YouTube got the translation wrong. Cultural differences and everything. He actually, it's not that he didn't mean to say that he's only pulling for the money. He's not injured. Both of his arms are cooked. So a lot of confusion going up in the air with it all. So we'll find out, obviously, the next couple of days if it's officially cancelled or not. Devon said they're going to try and get Alajan for the match. But then that's going to cost a lot of money. You got Levan, Vitali, Devon, and Alajan. Is that 200 grand? Is that 200 grand straight off the bat for appearance fees? Like, that's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. Even if it's 25 grand a pop. 100 grand straight off the bat for your main events. Just to turn up. Then you got to pay him to win. Then a slice of the revenue and things like that. Still not sure at the moment. Just talking with some other things. I want to be there, but you might cost me a lot of money for bringing everything back home. And my bag might be too heavy. But I want to come. Erling has offered for me to come. It's the date that's the problem. What's this one here? I got another view after watching the Morozov video. Maybe he doesn't view Devon as that strong. It's not likely it's Vitaly Alajan. Yeah, but if it's not that strong, well, Morozov appeared he wanted a weaker opponent first up to test his arm to see if it's okay. You take on Devon, it's tough. It's a tough day at the office. That's awesome. That's good. And hopefully they got a lot of money for paying for the after pulls. Hopefully they got a lot of money there. Not too sure. So is the match canceled? It's definitely up in the air at the moment. It's definitely up in the air. And I'll tell you, I don't know how pissed I'd be. Monster Michael Todd just had a cracking win. A cracking win. And all we want to talk about is if the Devon Morozov match is going to happen. Not a potential Monster Michael Todd Levan match. You know what I mean? It's hard. Yeah, I don't know how I would feel if I'm the athletes at East versus West. It's like, hey, great event, everyone. Devon Morozov. Let's talk about Devon Morozov. We're not even really talking about Vitali and Levan. I mean, we already knew that match was booked, but we're not even really talking about it. But yeah, you get Devon Morozov or Devon Alajan, you get Levan and Vitali. I do believe this will smash all pay-per-view records. I do. And Dennis's, I think, is the highest number of pay-per-views. But yeah, this could be a really... this could be the biggest event. And in my opinion, if you want to save money, not save money, sorry, get a bigger profit, I'd only book like 8 matches. 8 matches. Because to be fair with this one, if you get Vitali Levan and you get Devon and Morozov as your co-main event, you don't really want to watch any other match. You really don't. You're just kind of hurrying up. I know that's what I'll be. And that is no disrespect to any other athlete. But if I have... So just say the first 5 matches that were on East versus West 21. When I'm watching this event in February, I'm wanting them to hurry up. 3-0, 3-0, don't care. Fail them all out. I just want to see those last 2 matches. So this could do big money. They only really need 6 to 8 matches tops. They don't need any special guests unless they're willing to go there on their own. But they could get a really huge profit to set up 2026 easily. They can pay their 4 big stars and just sit on a bit, if they've lost money or broke even the last few events with the whole split, swap, the whole engine that flog. then this is a really good chance. Book 6 to 8 matches. Yeah. Now, I'll do a quick poll. Do we think will Devon v. Morozov be officially cancelled? Now, it's good that, mate, because what happens is people watch this, and I know, like, people come in and then they report back and things like that, and I have text messages, people are pinching my ideas and claiming it's theirs, going back to them, but I just think that would be so good for them. So good. My man, if Levan v. Vitaly and Devon v. Alijan, you could just have a bunch of prelims for free and just 3 to 4 matches. Not even a bunch of prelims. Not even a bunch. Just keep the event shorter, right? You're going to have a stacked attendance in Vienna, I believe. And then from there, I would just be maybe 3 prelims and you're just pumping the hype. Show that Devon Morozov aftermath thing, the jaw jack and the top, because that's just what's going to pay per-view. Talk about can Vitaly stop? This is where I would be really focusing on all my hype videos. Like, I watched a hype video 24 years ago, and he's still one of my favorite hype videos ever. It's Steve Austin versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17, and they play Limp Bizkit My Way. And it's something that I always watch. That's all they need to do. Some prelims, and it's just hot in between every match. Boom. Hyping Levan Vitaly. And the pay-per-views will go through 6 to 8 matches max. And then, see, I wouldn't go all out. There's no need to. Don't waste your money. See, Shaw and Krill can be a main event at the next one. At East versus West 23. Well, no, that could be Devon Vitaly. But that's you only need 2 mega main matches. We want title matches and things like that. But if you've got, because there's not many people that sell pay-per-views. So you've already got Levan and Devon pulling on event. That's enough. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Because then you book these 2. I reckon 30 grand each they'd want. That's another 60 grand. But if you chuck that as a main event or a semi-main event in April or June, you got Levan, Monster, Michael Todd, Krill, Shaw, bang. That's June. Take your money to the bank. I wouldn't be going. I'd be going all out on promotion, production. That's where I'm going all out in Vienna. Morozov saying translation was incorrect, so it should not be cancelled, in my opinion. I don't want it to be cancelled. And plus, if Vitaly wins, both arms in the future. I definitely don't want it cancelled. Bleed. Morozov isn't going to be on this card. They might have overreacted, in my opinion. There's nothing worse where I've been at events. I'm not going to name the athletes, but I've been at events. And you're sitting there and you're alone. There's no cameras and everything. And I'm like, man, how you feeling? And then they're just like showing me scans on their phone. Like when we saw Georgi Svetkov pull Zayor Pyasayev. Zayor Pyasayev had like a tear in one of his muscles. Like shouldn't have pulled. But when they ring up and it's like, hey, we'll give you $5 grand or things like that, you go and do it and just hope that it just all comes together. The Georgi Svetkov versus Alex Kadecha match should have been cancelled. Georgi Svetkov's foot was almost needed to be amputated. So I don't mind the honesty of Morozov. It's like, hey, I'll pull. I'm paraphrasing. Probably paraphrasing wrong. But it's like, hey, I'll pull. But if you want to pay them, this is your call now. I'll pull. I don't think there's a reason to be pissed about it, in my opinion. Now, should these conversations be behind closed doors? Absolutely. Before they announced Devon Morozov and things like that. So, is it Morozov just playing? That's one thing arm wrestlers do best. They just plant a little seed in case they lose. I saw it at my first tournament that I attended, and I see it everywhere I go. Hey, man, I'm excited for your match. How you feeling? Good. I just got a little niggle here. Everyone rags on Michael Todd. He says he's the strongest he's ever been, but at least he's not saying, pinching me wrist or I'm crook as a dog. He's like, I'm ready. I'm going. Here we go. Ball in. Same thing. So is Morozov planting seed? Just in case he loses? 90% of athletes do that. Okay. I'm going to be controversial here and say, apart from Devon, I feel a lot of the others are overpaid. Well, give me your price ticket. How much do you think every athlete is worth? Justin says, paying an injured arm wrestler to get injured again is wildly dumb. Well, we're in December. So now the owners of East versus West can easily just go, okay, if both of your arms aren't ready, matches off. Thank you. Next time, probably tell us when you offer us the match behind closed doors. So I wouldn't be angry or mad about it. Like, right, matches off. Let's try and find Devon a left arm match ASAP, or let's try and find another co-main event, really good semi-main event. Like, with so much talent. But at the end of the day, they've got to sell pay-per-views to keep this train going. If they can get major sponsors, that's even better, and a huge credit to them. But they got to sell pay-per-views, and not many athletes sell pay-per-views, unfortunately. So when you get a Devon Morozov, Vitaly Levan on the same card, and I do think even if the match still goes ahead, I don't think it will damage pay-per-view sales at all. It'll just feed the fuel in all the comment sections. Okay. If you are talking about Morozov, yeah, I think the bad subtitles were to blame. Mate, but it's just all about the wording. The hype could have been better. We're in December. Match is until February. And if they go, right, we're going on. If I'm Morozov now, I would just be going, you know what? Fuck it. Broken arm, ripped biceps. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to whoop you, Devon. And you know what, Devon? Fuck you for what you did to me at the end of that East versus West, you disrespectful son of a bitch. And then Devon will come in there and go, well, I'm going to make sure you never pull on that left arm again. And I tell you what, don't even come near me on the table. Don't talk to me pre-press conference. Don't talk to me at the event. I'm not your buddy. And then Morozov's there in the gym. Don't worry, this hasn't killed any hype at all. It hasn't. And if you're smart, and feel free to hire me to build all your hype. If you're smart, there's an easy way to put a spin on this one. An easy way to put a spin. It can be turned. Well, I don't think he said. Well, there's nothing. Well, you know what? Mike Tyson actually has, I think, said that in the past. G'day, Neil. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hopefully you had a fun time at East versus West, mate. Hope it was, I don't care about long journeys. Preaching to the wrong man here, mate. No, but hope you and your family are well, mate. And yeah, hopefully it looked like a good event. Hopefully it was a good event. Yeah. And hope you're doing well, mate. Right. There's so much. It's like after Ongabayev surgery, went for Matt Mask. I flashed him 3 times for an easy payday. I don't know if it was an easy payday. 2 things on this one, mate. I don't think it was an easy payday. When you're an athlete and you're injured, I've done it playing footy. You just like, I think I'm right. I think I'm right. Let's test it out. Because Morozov wants to test it out. I believe, according to his video, he didn't want Devon straight up. Give me a rank 7, 8, 9, 10, like to see how my left arm is. So Ongabayev wasn't doing it for the payday. I mean, he got I think a house and a car for beating Brzezinski. Ongabayev's fine. Second of all, with that match, I wasn't buying the pay-per-view for that match. I wasn't buying it for that match. But I do, absolutely, you don't want to buy for athletes who aren't ready. I totally agree. I totally agree. So now it's in East versus West hands to see Morozov and Devon if it goes ahead. How can you pay pullers these random numbers? Well, I don't think they're random numbers. It's like, this is my appearance fee. Take it or leave it. Or they've signed a contract. We're going to give you 3 matches over 3 matches per year. 2-year contract will give you $5,000 every match. That's my appearance fee. So they're not random numbers. It's it is an indication. I do know how much a lot of them get paid. I've seen a lot of the contracts. So it's, yeah. And I've got no problem if they can afford it. If they can afford it, I've got no problem with what a lot of these athletes are getting paid. They bring us sheer entertainment value, sheer discussing value, they're not really getting paid that much in retrospect, especially like a lot of North American pullers. They'll get off the plane. Dave Chafee, I have a funny story in one of my earlier podcasts with Dave Chafee. He goes out and beats Denis Saplenkov at Zloty Tour and flies home and goes to work the next day. And he does that all the time. Like, Dave, do you come on the show? When he became world champion, he's like, yep, I'll come on after work. I'm like, you've just become world champion and you're back at work 2 days later. So, you look at the NBA and they're getting paid squillions. So we just need to work out how to get more pay-per-view buys, how to get more sales. I've got a million ideas. I can't give out all my $1 million ideas. But if you want to pay me for them, here I am. And then there's the well, you see, you're not listening to what I'm saying. This is the number one problem with YouTube. I'm not saying reduce it for every single event. I'm saying if they would just like a bigger profit to help give us amazing events for the rest of the year, their next event, which will have Devon Morozov, hopefully, Levan Vitali, yet that will sell enough pay-per-views. Anything else you add afterwards, you're not buying the pay-per-view for those matches. They're going to be great matches. They're going to be fun matches. They might be stinkers, but you just want to watch those 2 matches. All the others, like, yep, amazing, awesome match. But you've come in, you've heard what you want to hear, and you've got that take wrong. But that's okay, buddy. That's okay. That's why we're all here, having a fun chat. I'm going on a bit too much because I've got to go to I'll do a couple of more points. And then we go there. Hypothetically, if you give Devon 10K, Levan the same, the next tier goes there. How many pay-per-views do the others really sell? There's not many pay-per-view sales. That's why They're focusing on getting big major sponsors, and that's the correct way to do it. What Morozov said might be more like, even if it's not my very best right now, this is my job, this match matters, and I accept the risk. I like the honesty. I like the honesty. Okay. Any other final things? G'day, crazy Uncle Jim. Everyone's all quickly chatting to themselves. The athletes may be overpaid if the events aren't profitable. And then it's hard because that becomes, businesses, sports, we all go in ebbs and waves. We all go in ebbs and waves. So, yeah, but then when you have that minimum in your mind, it's like, well, I've just been paid $3,000 to go to this event. I'm not coming back to the event for less. So you've put value, I sell a trading card. And it's like, well, that's, unless I decline or that person declines, very rarely does your appearance fee. So now you've got that in your mind. So you're not listening again. Still a dumb take. Just watch those two matches. No, people are going to be more excited. Oh, my man. My man. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you for joining and thank you for having a chat with me. Anyway, I think the new blood in EVW will help. Not just the same guys all the time. This card had a lot of fresh new matchups. Yes, and that's why the next one in February will be a perfect example to bleed you in. Because once again, I think 6 to 8 matches in February, new blood on a big pay-per-view. There's always other exciting matches, but 90% of us would just be like, oh my God, I cannot wait for Devon Morozov. Oh my God, I cannot wait for Levan and Vitali. That would be 90% of it. And then in the meantime, when we're watching, we're like, come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Things will surprise us. Of course, we'll still be watching. Be like, oh my God, how good was it? Geez, he's a star. But anyway. Hey, Justin King. What is going on? Okay, right. I have got to I've got to get out of here. I've got playgroup Christmas party that I am late for. Leave a like, leave all your takes in there. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but my track record with what I've said and what's been implemented on the big stage, sometimes I go all right. No, I'm just having a bit of fun. I might do a birthday bash stream. I'll get some buddies on the show later on in the week, and we might roll it with an end of year review, birthday bash. Not too sure. Tell me everything. What do you think of the event? Do you think Morozov and Devon will be cancelled officially? 70% of you at the moment say yes. You guys are awesome. I hope you are happy. Give your loved ones a hug. And of course, rest in peace, my beautiful dog Zeus. I miss you every minute of every single day. I love you. And guys, I'll see you later on in the week.